Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Ab Daily News with the hockey coach, Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 375. What do you mean, coach? First of all, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens news. Following, guys, by 3 questions for the Ab success for the upcoming season. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And let's dive in talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject of the day, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens news. And the first player we want to talk about is Mrs. NORLINDER. NORLINDER dropped on the Montreal Canadiens third round 64 overall pick in 2019. Played only 6 games with the Montreal Canadiens and got only 1 assist. Played last year with the Laval Rocket. We heard he played an exhibition game last week in the Sweden Hockey League. But what's the big problem with that, coach? But if it's the case, possible now, NORLINDER stay in Sweden. It's not going to return with the Laval Rocket. And it could be the end of NORLINDER with the Montreal Canadiens. Nothing was confirmed from the Montreal Canadiens about NORLINDER. But don't be surprised in the next couple of days or week, we heard this is the end between NORLINDER and the Montreal Canadiens. My second player we want to talk about, guys, is Philippe MESAR. MESAR dropped on the Montreal Canadiens 26th overall pick in 2022. Played last year in OHL. Expect start the season with the Laval Rocket. But we're talking about, coach. Nothing is guaranteed for MESAR to start the season in American Hockey League. He needs to have a great training camp with the Montreal Canadiens following with the Laval Rocket to get his spot for the upcoming season. We know Sakowski and MESAR spoke together, possible to see together if ever MESAR played with the Laval Rocket and Sakowski played with the Montreal Canadiens. Don't be surprised if MESAR could returning for the second year in OHL. My third player we want to talk about is the goaltender Samuel MONTEMBEAULT. Couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the fact possible MONTEMBEAULT get an extension after his performance with Team Canada at the World Championship. But so far, it's very quiet between the Montreal Canadiens and Samuel MONTEMBEAULT. He's on his final year contract of 2 years at $1 million. Would be interesting what Ken Hughes is going to do with Samuel MONTEMBEAULT. Finally, my last news of the day for the Montreal Canadiens, they announced September 24. They're going to do a scrimmage between Team Red and Team White for the Ab fans. What do you mean? But they're going to offer one ticket only at $10 per person to watch the Montreal Canadiens prospect or veteran players to play a scrimmage game September 24 between Team White and Team Red. It just concludes, guys, all the news about the Montreal Canadiens, but I want to finish with 2 news in NHL. My first news is about Jonathan Toews. Jonathan Toews announced he's not going to returning to play next year for the upcoming season with the Chicago Blackhawks or any other team. We know he's a UFA at this moment. He wants to take a 1 year off of hockey and reconsider possible to returning for the season 2024-2025 to play in NHL. Toews in 53 games last year with the Chicago Blackhawks got 31 points, 15 goals, and 16 assists. And finally, my last news of the day is about the Sabres Hall of Fame play-by-play announcer Rick Jeanneret passed away at 81 years old. RJ was the longest tenure broadcaster in the NHL at the time he retired in 2022. Jeanneret called the Sabres game from 1971 until his retired in 2022. For me, I consider Rick Jeanneret the best play-by-play announcer in the NHL history. It does conclude, guys, all the news we have for you today. I would like to hear from you. Leave me a comment possible about the NHL news or possible about the Ab news. And let's move on for my second subject of the day. My second subject of the day is about the Ab 3 questions for the season 2023-2024 to be successful. First of all, my first question is the performance of the goalies. Who is the starter for the Montreal Canadiens? Can MONTEMBEAULT repeat what he did last year during the second half of the season? And do you believe Jake Allen can come back and play better for the Montreal Canadiens for the upcoming season? We know Jake Allen had his worst season in NHL last year. But the key behind this guy for the Montreal Canadiens to have a successful year for the upcoming season, one area is really the performance of the goaltender. My second question I have for this subject, guy, is about Cole Caulfield. Do you believe Cole Caulfield can score 50 goals for the upcoming season? And the point behind that is we know Caulfield scored 26 goals in 46 games. Imagine Caulfield reach at least 40, 45, and maybe 50 goals. The chance to Montreal Canadiens to have a great year could happen if Caulfield performed that way. We know Montreal Canadiens, the last player to score 40 goals is Vincent D'Anfos in 1993-1994, and the last player to score 50 goals is Stéphane Richer, guys, in 1989 and 1990. Can Cole Caulfield score 50 goals next year? This is something we're going to watch for the upcoming season. And finally, my last question is about, can the Montreal Canadiens reach the total of 70 points for the upcoming season? First of all, 2 years ago, they finished at the bottom in the NHL with 55 points. They increasing the number to 68 last year. And now, can they reach a total of 70 points for the upcoming season? Three different areas, I believe Montreal need to be sure they perform better. First of all, let's start with Josh Anderson and Brendan Gallagher. Anderson scored 21 goals last year with the Montreal Canadiens with a total of 32 points and 69 games with the Habs. And then Gallagher scored only 8 goals and 14 points and 37 games. Two veteran players with the Montreal Canadiens have big contract, 5.5 for Anderson, 6.5 for Gallagher. If Montreal want to reach 70 points, they need to be sure both veterans perform for the upcoming season. Then I want to talk about Kirby Dach and Alex Newhook. Dach got traded from Chicago Blackhawks to Montreal Canadiens last year and returned a 13th overall pick. And Alex Newhook came from the Colorado Avalanche during the offseason after the Montreal Canadiens sent the 31 and the 37 overall pick 2023 to the Colorado Avalanche. Two young players we expect to perform good for the Montreal Canadiens if ever the Montreal want to reach a total of 70 points for the upcoming season. And finally, guys, is the development of the sophomore for the Montreal Canadiens players for the upcoming season. I'm talking about Sakoski. I'm talking about Caden Coley. I'm talking about Jordan Harris. I'm talking about Kovacevic or his second year, Justin Barron. Those players need to continue to progress and develop better to give a better chance for the Montreal Canadiens to reach the total of 70 points for the upcoming season. At the end of the day, the performance of the goaltender, the performance of Cole Caulfield, and then the performance of Anderson, Gallagher, Dach, Newhook, and the sophomore players could make a big impact for the success of the Montreal Canadiens for the upcoming season. I would like to hear from you guys for my last subject of the day. What do you think about how many points do you think the Montreal Canadiens are going to get for the upcoming season? And that's conclude all the subject we have on this episode. Thanks for watching another AB Daily News with the hockey coach Guru called Frenchy. But before we leave, guys, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey National Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And of course, remember, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.